So hi guys, welcome to the part 3 of this chat application. So today we are going to set up React navigation for our application, and we are going to add one more field in our message that should define which user has sent this message. So instead of taking username from user, what we are doing, every device has its own unique ID. So for getting that unique ID, we are going to use React Native device info, and using that we are going to have the unique ID of the user. And for navigation, we are going to set up a React navigation with a stack navigation. And this one is our login screen where we are going to define the room ID. We are going to write the room ID, and then we are going to click this open the door button. So it will open the door of that room. So let's just start by installing two of these things. One is React Native device info, and second is Moment. So we are using Moment to get a better format of date and time in our application. So these things have been installed, and now we are in the chat screen file of our project. So let's just go and change some of these things here. So instead of date, now we are going to use Moment. So let's just import Moment before using it. So we are going to use Moment, and we are going to format it as YYYY, that is year, then month, then day, then hour, then minute, and then second, and then millisecond. And now we are going to import React Native device info. Import device info from React Native device info. And now we are going to use it to generate the user ID, unique user ID of our user. Get unique ID. So now we have this user ID of our user, and now we are going to use this field also in our database. So instead of just database, we are just going to use user ID and set it as our constant user ID. And while retrieving the data, we are going to retrieve this user ID from the Firebase also. So data snapshot dot data and that user ID. So now we have done reading and writing of user ID to our Firebase, and now we can use that user ID to check if whether that message has been sent by us or not. So we are going to create a constant is owner, and it would be equal to a boolean, and that boolean would be returned by if the user ID is equal to our Firebase our messages user ID, that is item data dot item dot user ID. So it will return a true or false, and now we are going to pass this prop in this message also, and we are going to change that message props also there. So we are just going to copy it here, is honor equal to this value, and instead of using this use YouTube chat room string everywhere, what we can do, we can define a different uh, constant named as let's say room ID, that would be equal to this YouTube chat room, and let's just replace this room ID wherever we are defining, whenever we are using this YouTube chat room. So let's delete this and add this, and we can use this here also. So whenever we want some constants like color or some big string, we need to define it somewhere globally. So that's why we are going to create a folder that would be named as constants, and let's just define a file colors here so that we can use color everywhere by importing this file. And let's just define some of the colors here. So whenever we need these colors, we are going to import this file and use this color. So this is a primary color and a header color that we are going to use later in the video. And there is a light and dark message background that we are going to use as a background color for our messages. So let's start by changing some of the styles of this message. So we are going to give it a fixed height. So if the text is more than of one line, then it would not be shown in that view. So let's just delete this height from here. And now we are going to define some of the styles based on if it is honor or not. So we are going to have two styles. One is for left and one is for right. So let's define two containers also. Message container left and message container right. And let's just delete this color from here. And now we are ready, and now we need to define message container left. So in this we are going to define align self as flex start, so that it would come at the starting of the flex. And now we are going to define a border bottom radius of 0, border bottom left radius of 0, so that what it will do, first of all, the message container will have all the border of like 10 everywhere. So let's give it 20. So it will have all the border of 20 everywhere in the four sides. And then we are going to override this border radius with this border bottom left radius, so that only the left corner, left border bottom corner will have radius of 0. And now we are going to give it a background color as colors that would be imported from, we need to import it from here, import colors from dot dot slash constants slash colors. And now we are going to use colors dot light message background color thing. So let's change its name properly, background. Okay, let's use this variable there. So we are going to do the same thing for message container right also, that would be sent by us. So instead of start, we are going to use flex end, so that it would come at the right side. And instead of border bottom left, we are going to use border bottom right radius. And instead of light message background color, we are going to use dark message background color. And same thing we are going to do with this text also. We are going to define text left here, and we are going to define text right here. So for text left, we are going to align our fonts to the left. So we are using text align left, and in text right, we are going to align it to the right. And now we are going to give some of the line spacing, some more line spacing between the lines. So line height property would do this. So we are going to give 25 line height. And now we are going to use these properties based on if it is honor or not. So if we are going to use more than one style property, then we need to wrap it inside a list. And now if it is honor, then this is, if it is honor, then give it a styles dot message container right, else give it styles dot message container left. And same with the text, we are going to wrap it inside a list, and then we are going to use this ternary operator. If it is honor, then give it a styles dot text right, I'll give it style dot text left. So let's just save these things. So now this YouTube chat room collection in our database is having like previous structure of our data. So you can just go to Firebase and delete that node. And for now, what we are going to use a different room ID. Let's name it part 3 and save this and try to run this in our devices. So now our application has been built and we have this chat room which is completely empty. So let's try to send some messages here. Hi, I am Vishek Patil. So now you can see the message is having this border around these 3 corners, and it is having the corner from here, and it is showing in the right side of our screen. And for the receivers, that is, this phone is not the owner of this message, so it would have a light color, it would have border around here, here and here, and it is having like a corner here, and it is showing it in the left side. So now we are going to create a login screen for our application, and if you have seen, we are having this card view in our login screen, and we are having this like border view in more than one places or of our application. Like if you have seen here also, we are having this border view. So we are going to extract that component from there to our component folder, and now then we are going to have our this custom button also, because React Native's button will look different on Android and iOS, because it converts the button component to the native button component, and the native button component look different on Android and iOS. So that's why we are going to define our button using touchable opacity. So let's just start by creating that border view component. So we are going to the component folder, and let's create a new folder named as UI, which would contain the basic UI component of our application, not this message and message input, because this is kind of like big component. So we are going to create a small component inside it, which is border view.js, and let's import React. And now we are going to import view and style sheet from React Native, and we are going to have this prop type also. If you are not using ESLint, you can ignore this. And let's just define our border view. So this border view would have some style that this style would override the basic style that we are going to define. So we are going to take a prop as a style, and then we are going to have other props, and it is going to return something from here, and then we are going to export this border view, and then we are going to export default, and then we are going to define its prop types also, border view dot prop types equal to our style would be equal to prop types dot object. And now we are going to return a view from here. So let's just first define a style sheet. Constant styles equal to style sheet dot create, and we are going to define our styles there. So we are going to return a view whose style would be styles dot box that we are going to create, and then all of the things as a children that will pass that would be rendered here. So we will render props dot children, and now if we are using something from this prop, then we need to define it from here also. So we are going to define children, and it would be type of prop type dot node. So node is something that contain a lot of like elements, some string or anything that can render. So we will define its data type as node. And now we need to define this box here. So instead of giving just this style dot box, we are going to override these styles with the input styles of user also. So we are going to use this style here, and now we are going to define our box style. So its border width would be equal to 1, border color would be gray, and it has align item as center. You can override this by passing that align item in this style prop also. So this is just an example to show you that how you can extract some component and use it in many places. So now our border view is ready, and now we are going to use it in our this message input component. So let's just go to that file. So now instead of this view, we are going to use our border view that would be imported from ./ui/border view. And now we are going to close this tag also with the border view. And now we are going to delete the border properties that we have defined here. Like we have already defined border color, we have already defined width and this. So now this thing is complete. So now we are going to define a card view which would be similar as this border view, but instead of border it would be having some shadow. So let's just define a card view.js, and we need to import React and view and style sheet from React Native. And we are going to import prop type also. And we are going to define this card view. And we are going to export it default. Export default card view. And we are going to define some styles also. And we are going to define its prop type also. So this would be same as this border view. So let's just copy it from there. And now we are going to have the have styles. So we do not need any style here. So we are just going to have a props, and you can define styles also, style property also if you want, but I do not think there is some need of this. So let's just define this style from here also. And now we are going to return a view whose style would be equal to styles dot card view that we are going to define. And let's just close this tag, and inside that we are going to have props dot children, and let's just define this card view. So for card view, we are going to give shadow and elevation. So shadow is a property in iOS and it is not in Android. So for you using this card view, we need to define both of the properties. So shadow property would be applied on iOS and the elevation property would be applied on Android. So we are going to give shadow color as black. We are going to give shadow offset as width equal to 0 and it equal to 2. Then we are at equal to 2. Then we are going to give it a radius, shadow radius equal to, let's say, 6. Then we are going to give it opacity, that will define how much opaque this shadow is. So let's just give it 0.26, which is like, I think it looks good. And now comes the turn of Android. So for Android we just have one property, elevation. So let's just give it an elevation of add. And now we are going to give a background color to this card view. So if you do not give a background color, so what it will do, it will take the some other color that would be defined in its parent background. Like if you are having some like screen whose color is pink and you are not defining a background color of this card view, so it will be transparent and it will show the color of its background. And now we are going to give a padding of 10 and margin of 10 also, that will look in good in card. And we are going to give it a border radius that would be equal to 6, same as the shadow radius. And now we are done with this card view also. So next we need to define our button. So for defining a button, let's just go to UI and create a button.js there. And let's just start by importing React, and after that we need to import view from a style sheet that we always do from React Native. And we need some more things from React Native also, like touchable opacity, touchable opacity, and we need a text there. So after that we are going to have our prop type also with P capital, otherwise we would be confused. And then we are going to have our color file also here. And let's just start by defining our button and export it by default. And let's just start define some styles. And we need to define a prop type of this button also. So this button would have some props like title, that would be, so this button would have some prompt like title and on press method obviously, and we are going to have some style for our button container, and we are going to give it some text style also. So if you want to override that things, then you can just pass that things as the this property name, and let's just define its all of its prop types. So title would be of prop types dot string, and our on press method would be a function, and our styles and text styles would be of object. So let's just return something from our button. So we are going to return a touchable opacity, touchable opacity. So we by mistake imported touchable. So we are going to return a touchable opacity. Its on press method would be it's the incoming on press method, and inside that we are going to have our view, and for this view we are going to give a style as styles dot button container, let's say, and this incoming style also. So let's name it as style, and inside that we are going to have a text whose uh, whose title would be the incoming title, and whose text would be the incoming title. And for style we are going to give it a list of styles. So first one would be styles, let's say this is we are going to define. So first one would be, let's say, text style, and the second one would be the incoming text style. So let's just define these two styles at our style sheet. So we are having this button container and we are having this text style. So for text style, we are going to give it a color as white, and we are going to give it a font weight of bold. And for button container, we are going to give it a background color as colors dot primary color. And if you want to override this background color, you can just pass that thing into this style object. And after that we are going to give it a padding horizontal of 15 and padding vertical of 10 and border radius of 10. So you will understand that this all the properties are like default property. If you do not pass this thing, these things would be used. Otherwise you can pass that things on this style and text style. So now this button container is also completed. So let's just start by creating a login screen, because we are having all our components now. So create a login screen dot js. So now we are having this basic screen for our login screen, in which we are having these three imports from the components that we have created just now, and we are having this dimension API also, which would be used to detect the height and width of our device. So let's just start by adding a card view inside this screen. So we are having children in this card view. So let's start by defining a view that would be used to like a card container. So it will define the height and width of this card view. So because this card view will wrap around its children, so we need to define its height and width. Otherwise it would cover the other children, like we are having a big box there. So we are going to define a view, and its style would be styles dot, let's say, card view container. And inside that card view container we are going to have a border view and a button. So we are going to have a border view for our text input, and we are going to have a button. So border view, and this border view style, we are going to give some more styles to this border view instead of that default one. So let's just define it at styles dot, let's say, text container, because it is a container around that text, and we need to define the text here. We need to define the text input here, and let's just define a button outside this border view also, that we have imported not from React Native but from our component. So this button would have a like title, so we are going to give it a title as open the door, and let's give it a capital D, and we are going to give it a on press handler. So for now, let's define it as open room handler, and let's just define this function as an empty function for now. And now we are going to give something in this text input, such as its value. So for maintaining the state of this text input, we need to define some variables as like use state for this. So let's define this variable as constant room ID, comma set room ID would be equal to use state, and it initialize with an empty string. So its value, let's give it its value as this like room ID here, and we are going to give it on change text also. So on change text, and let's define this function as change room text handler, and let's just define this function above. So it would have a value, and we are going to use this value to set our room ID. And this text input would have some more properties like styles and placeholder. So for placeholder, we are going to give it a type room ID here, and we are going to give it a style also. Style would be equal to styles dot room text, let's say. So this style would be for centering the text in that text input, otherwise it would come at the left, that is the starting of the text input. So now let's just define some of the style that we have created there. So we have first of all created this card view container. So let's define that here, card view container. So now we are going to use the dimension API. So we are going to use the 80% width of the device. So for width we are going to give it a dimension dot get window and dot width. So it will give us a width of our window, and then we are going to multiply it by 0.8. And for height also we are going to give same as this width. So let's just copy this from here and paste it here so that our card would be of square shape. And now we are going to give it that align item as a center and justify content as space evenly, so that it will contain some space between the element around and around the element also equally. So after that we have this text container. So let's just define it. So this text container, let's say we are going to give it a border radius of 10, and we are going to give it a width of let's say 60%. That is 60% of that card view, because its parent is this card view. And now we have defined this room text also as a style of our text input. So let's just define this property also here. So for room text we are going to have text aligned as center. So now our login screen is complete. So let's just try to see how it is looking. So in app.js, instead of this chat screen, we are going to return a login screen. So this is how it will look on our emulator. Whenever we press on this text input, this whole view is going to shift upside. But it is also possible sometimes that whenever you are going to click on this text input, then this button goes beyond this keyboard, so we are not able to see that button whenever our keyboard is open. So that's why we are going to use a keyboard avoiding view that would be wrapped around this card view, and it will ensure that whatever inside it would be visible whenever the keyboard is open. Like if in this case, whenever you are going to click on this text view, then the device will try to show this text view and it will ignore other things. It will not make sure that other things is also visible. It will only make sure that that text view is visible. So that's why keyboard avoiding view is like useful. So let's just start by importing that keyboard avoiding view from React Native. And this keyboard avoiding view behave different on different OS, like on Android and iOS. So we need to define its property according to the platform that we are using. So for detecting the platform, we have a platform API from React Native. So we are going to use that one also. So now we are going to wrap this card view around a keyboard avoiding view. And now we are giving is some behavior. So now we are going to tell which platform it is. So platform.os, if platform.os equal to our iOS, then we are going to give it a padding behavior. Otherwise we are going to give it a height behavior. So now our keyboard avoiding view is complete, and you will not able to see any difference for now, but it will make sure in Android and iOS both that this card view would be visible whenever the keyboard opens. So now we need to go to the chat screen whenever someone press on this open the door button. So that's why we are going to use a navigation in our application. For using navigation, we are using React Native navigation. So you can go on this website and see the installation steps also. So I'm going to install on this video also. So we are just going to add React Navigation slash native. That is the like core module of this uh, navigation. So we are going to stop the server and yarn at React Navigation native, and it is having some more steps also. Like this is for Expo, so we are not using Expo, and we are using React Native. So we are going to add this React Native screens and React Native safe area context also. So let's just install this also here. And now we need to add some manual installation in our Android folder, and if you are using building it on iOS also, then there is a step for iOS also, like npx pod install iOS. So now we need to go to the main activity of our Android folder, and we need to add this and this there. So let's just copy it from here, import android.os.bundle, and go to this Android folder, app, build, app, then source, then main, then Java, then main activity.java, and we are going to import android.os.bundle, and we are going to override this on create method on our main activity also. So now React Navigation has been successfully installed in our application, and now we are going to install a Stack Navigator. So what is a Stack Navigator? When you uh, navigate to some other screen, that screen will come come on the previous screen. So we are going to this install this Stack Navigator. This is the like most common navigator, and you are having some more navigator also, like drawer navigator. Whenever you slide from the left side of the screen, then a drawer come back and you have a tab navigator like in Instagram. So we are just going to use this Stack Navigator. So npm install React Navigation slash native stack. So now our Stack Navigation is complete, and we can close this file, and we can close all of these files. And now we are going to create a folder that will contain all our navigator. Like if we do not have only one navigator in our application, we can have many navigator, like tab navigator inside a Stack Navigator. So we are going to place all of the things inside a folder named navigator, and inside that so we need to create this navigator inside this source folder. So yeah, we have this navigator folder, and inside that we are going to create our root navigator for now. So we are just having one navigator, so let's name it as a root navigator. So let's just start by importing React, and we need to create a Stack Navigator. So that's why React Navigation slash native stack provide us a method to create a Stack Navigator named as create native Stack Navigator. So we are going to import it as create native Stack Navigator from React Native slash native stack, and then we are going to have our two screens here. That first one is login screen from screen slash login screen, and then we are going to have our chat screen from screen slash chat screen, and then we are going to create a stack using this create stack navigator. So now we have this stack, and we can use its property to have some navigator and define some screens in our navigation. So first of all, we are going to create a root navigator it would be similar as some screen, and then we are going to export default root navigator. So now we are going to use this navigator as our is to navigate to our screens, and inside that we are going to return a stack navigator. So root navigator is just a name for this whole thing, and we are going to return a stack navigator that is similar as we return some view from a screen. So stack dot navigator, and inside this stack dot navigator handles all the navigation which are like stack, and inside this we are going to have our screens. So for that we are going to use the stack dot screen, and then we are going to have two screens. So let's just copy it, and our first screen's name would be our first screen name would be like login screen, and its component equal to its component is our login screen. So whenever we need to navigate to this login screen, we need to give this name here that we are defining, and our second screen name is, let's say, chat, and its component equal to chat screen, and then we can give it a initial route name also. Otherwise it will just take the initial route as the first screen, like the first screen it will show on whenever we open the app would be its initial route. So let's just define it. Initial route name equal to login. So now we are done with our stack navigator, and now we need to modify our screens according to that also. So first we will go to this screens, login screen and chat screen. So now instead of empty prop, we are having a prop here that will contain a route and a navigator. So a navigator is an object that is used to like navigate from one screen to others, and it all keep all the information about navigation. And route is a object that will contain the information about the route it is coming, or the route it is going, or some props we are passed that would be inside routes.params. So we are having these two props here, route comma navigation, and then we need to define this also as a prop type. So login screen dot prop type equal to, so first one is route, that would be, both of these are of object type, prop types dot object, and navigation is also the same. And same with this chat screen also, it will also have these two props. So let's just import prop types. So now we have this route and navigation, and now our screens are ready to navigate. So let's just try to run it in our emulator and check if it is all working or not. And now instead of returning a login screen from app.js, we are going to export this root navigator from app.js. So for using a navigator, we need a navigation container which handles all the navigation inside our application. So we are going to import navigation container, and we are going to return this root navigator inside that navigation container. So we need to import that root navigator also. Root navigator from dot slash navigators slash root navigator. So after doing all of this, you need to rebuild your application in Android or iOS so that the auto linking of this React navigation would be successful. So now our application has been successfully built in our emulators. So if you can see, there is a like grayish background color, which is a default background color used by React navigation. So we need to change that to white, and we do not want this heading inside our like login screen also. So we are going to delete that header also. So let's just go to our files and go to our screens, and in the screen property, let's just define a background color here is white, and let's save this and go to login screen and define a background color here also. Let's just save this. So now when you see this, the background color would be white, and for deleting this like header from here, we are going to our navigator, root navigator, and we are going to our like login screen, and we can define some options here. So let's define our option as header shown equal to false, and let's just save this so that our header would be gone. So now we have our this whole screen, and whenever we press on this button, nothing will happen because we have not defined any behavior there. So let's just define that behavior in our login screen. So whenever we press on that button, this open room handler would be called, and for navigating to that room, what we are going to do, we are going to use navigation, that is this object dot navigate, and navigate's first prop would be the name of screen that we have defined here, that is login and chat. So we want to go to the chat screen, and we are going to pass this prop as room ID also. So our room ID would be this room ID. So we can pass the prop in this navigation using this using the second argument of navigate, and we will get this props inside the props inside that route.params in our chat screen. So if we go here, then for our room ID, we have just defined part 3. So we have not defined route and navigation here. So let's just define that also, route comma navigation, and we need to like define its prop type also. So we have already defined that. So now we have route and navigation, and we need to extract our props that we have passed from this login screen. So for doing that, we are going to use, so let's define this as room. So we need, so now let's extract that prop as our room ID. So we are going to use a variable as let instead of const, because if no variable is passed, then we are going to open a chat that would be called as general. So let room ID equal to route dot params, and if dot route dot params dot the parameter ID that we have passed, room ID, and if this thing is null, or if this thing is null, then we are just going, and if room ID is null or empty string, then we are going to give it a default room ID as general. So let's save all of this and try to run it on our emulator. So whenever we click on this open the door, it will take us to this chat. That would be the general chat that I have already sent a message here, and we do not need this back button also. So we are going to remove that back button, and we are going to change this title of our like header also. So the title would be the same as room ID. So let's just go to our login screen. Let's just go to root navigator and define an option here for our this screen. Header shown, header back title visible, or we can say header back visible equal to false. So if we save all of these, so our back button has been gone from here. So user can click on this physical back button, and user can swipe left on iOS to go back. So now we need to change our this header title. So there are two options for doing that. First, we can define our header title in this like screen option of this root navigator. So this header title would be visible on whatever we write our room ID. This header title would be visible. So let's just try out this static title. Header title would be, let's say, spider monkey, and let's just save this to see our header has changed. So but we need this header same as our room ID, that is a dynamic header. Whatever the user will enter on that room ID, we need that room ID to be shown here. So for that we cannot define this header title here. So now we are going to go to this chat screen, and we define a use layout effect. So what is the use layout effect? It is similar as use effect, but the only difference is that it would be called synchronously after the first render. Like use effect can take some time, so that other task will complete, and then it will be called asynchronously, but use layout effect would be called synchronously after the first render. So if you want to change something on screen, like a header, or add some add some button in the header, then it is optimal to use layout effect. So we are going to use layout effect from React. So its syntax is also the same as you use effect, and we are just going to call it one time. And now here we can set our header title. So navigation dot set options. Now we can set the option that we are defining here. So we are going to define a header title that would be equal to this room ID. So here is a mistake in we need to, the property name is set options, not set option. So remember this, and let's just save all of these things and try to run it in our like devices. So let's just go to our device and go to this general chat room by giving no room ID here. So we'll go to general, and now you can see that the room ID is visible here. So if we type some other room ID like part 3, let's say, for today, and we are clicking on this open the door, so the title is changing accordingly. So there are some UI improvement that we want to do, like this message container should be of size of like this message, and if it is like more than one line, then the maximum height should be of 80%. Instead of all the height should be 80%. So that's why we are going to go in this component, then message, and instead of width we are going to give it a max width. And we can also define like a header color here. So we can define header style, that style would be applied to the whole view of that header, and we can give it a background color as colors that would be imported from constant select colors, and we can give it a header color that we have defined, and let's just save all of this. So now it is looking better. So in the further video, we are going to add some more things also, like Google authentication, and we are going to like add some username and other thing also. So if you are liking the content, please do not forget to like and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.